Hi, it's T. Michelle Birdsong in New York City, and I'm going to read some excerpts from this video I was watching that had me mesmerized. It's called 4 Hours of Wayne Dyer Motivation, and it's at the Evan Carmichael channel on YouTube. And he mentions people who are relevant to me, so that's why I'm doing this video. As a matter of fact, Wayne Dyer is in my womb being reborn. I've named him Giancarlo Arturo, okay? And he's got a twin sister, Evelyn Jones, who was an RN. He was a doctor, and she's an RN, although he was a PhD. Alright, so he made these, he's talking about a book that he has written called okay, we all know Wayne Dyer passed away, right? Yeah, that's how he's being reborn in me. Okay, so they're talking about a book, There's a Spiritual Solution to Every Problem. And the number one principle that he is teaching is have a mind that is open to everything and attached to nothing. Be attached nowhere. Okay, and then he elaborates on it. This is not a substitute for you watching the video. You really need to watch it because he goes into great detail to explain the principles. I just wanted to give you a taste of it. It's so good, so inspiring. At one point I was boo-hooing. I was so touched by one of the stories he told. Okay, the second principle. You can't give away what you don't have. You can't give away love to others if what you have in here in your heart is contempt. Okay? And then he said, shift from what can I have to what can I give. Ask the world, how may I serve? And that's what I'm doing when I'm making these videos. I'm trying to find a way to serve the people. Okay, now the third principle is there are no justified resentments. And here are resentments tagged on the end is talk and share. That's a therapy that I created, guided by Govinda Singh, Jesus Christ. And it helps you get to your resentments and release them. And it helps you to find yourself in general, not just resentments, but the source of hurt or the source of pleasure. I realized, for example, that my childhood was far more glorious than I ever knew it was because I had traumas, negative traumas, blocking my view of the good things that had happened to me in my childhood. So by doing a lot of introspection and a lot of talk and share therapy, I've come to realize that my time spent with my other mother, Aunt Donnie, who is now Robin Birdsong, my daughter, and her husband, Brother Wright, who is now Sing Birdsong, my son, my time spent at their home was heavenly. It was absolutely, I could do a whole video on the gloriousness of my life with them. Alright, so I'm not going to do it here because I'm doing Wayne Dyer excerpts. And then he said, as far as the third principle, there are no justified resentments. It said resentments create in you despair. That's why you don't want to carry them around. Blame has to go. Be willing to say, I am here because of my choices. I send love in place of hate. That's better than feeling despair all the time and feeling unhappy about what you're blaming somebody for having done to you. I know because I've been there. Okay, the fourth principle, don't die with your music still in you. He said he's not dying with his music still in him because he's doing what he feels fulfilled doing, which is sharing what he knows with people. And, yeah. Number 5 principle, embracing silence. And he talked about meditation, which I have been doing since 1970. And Govinda Singh is the head of RSSB, Radhasam Satsang and Bias, where he's the teacher, the spiritual teacher, who is guiding me on my meditation. I'm also his disciple, and Rob and Michelle is his disciple. She was just in India visiting with him, and she was just overjoyed because you give out what is in you, and what is in him is joy. So when you're around him, you feel joy. And he has no intentions of harming anyone or sending any negative thoughts to anyone. So, all right, and when he said embracing silence, Wayne Dyer said embracing silence, meditate. He quoted Emerson, who was Eve. This is Eve. She Michelle Birdsong is Eve. She was Emerson. Okay, number 6 principle, giving up your personal history. He learned this from Carlos Castaneda. Now, interestingly enough, like I said, the people in this that he mentions in this video are very relevant to me because Carlos Castaneda is being as Michael Raker, who is a resident here at St. Francis of Assisi Residence 3. And my daughter Robin Michelle Birdsong was St. Francis of Assisi. And she's sitting beside her biological father, Stevie Wonder, who we just discovered recently is her biological father. I discovered it. She doesn't buy that yet. Okay, and giving up your personal history. Immerse yourself in the now. That's my New Year's resolution, to be present in the now. And Wayne Dyer said, embrace your past, understand your past, then give up your past, and merge into the now, into being present, into being conscious. And that's where reality is, and that's where joy is. 7th principle, you can't solve a problem with the same mind that created it. That's an Albert Einstein quote. Albert Einstein was Eve. Okay, see what I mean about being relevant? he mentions, well, it makes perfect sense because he's being reborn to Eve, and these people, these lives that he quotes were Eve, so he's attached to Eve through her writings. For example, Wayne Dyer was Pope Saint Linus, who was the successor to Pope Saint Peter, who was the successor to Jesus Christ, being as Govinda Singh Dillon. Now, Pope Saint Peter is the father of Eve, one of her fathers in a past life. See, again, connecting the dots. All right, number 7, you can't solve a problem with the same mind that created it, said Albert Einstein, Eve. And he was also a vegetarian, and Eve is a lacto-vegetarian, and so is Robin, the disciple of Guru Singh, who teaches us you have to be a lacto-vegetarian to be on his path. Okay, and Wayne Dyer said, the problems are illusions. Admitting you're wrong is saying, I have been making choices in my life that are creating things that are not working for me. The relationship I was in didn't work. What did I do that I can change for my new relationships? You can't get away. You have to think these things through. You have to think your past through and then embrace it and then release it. Robert Frost, who was Eve, said, we love the things we love for what they are. And then Wayne Dyer went on to say, not for what they are going to be, we hope, or what they were. We love them for what they are. Catch your children doing right, he said. Think about your partner. What do I love about this person? Rather than criticizing them and picking them apart. Charan Singh, who was being as Jesus Christ, was now being as Govinda Singh, said, in order to have a happy relationship, you need two things. When the love goes, you need right understanding and respect. And you can have a happy relationship that way. Okay, number 8 principle. Treat yourself as if you're already what you want to become. Okay, number 9. Treasuring your divinity. Emerson, from his essay, Self-Reliance, Wayne Dyer quotes from that. He said, we often reject our own thoughts, knowing that I'm already connected. So, treasuring your divinity is knowing that I'm always connected to my source. And the source is sunlight. Okay. That's the source. The sun. God. Okay. Hiding in plain sight, right? The 10th principle. Wisdom is avoiding all thoughts that weaken you. When you're having a thought that is disempowering, shift it. When you see a person struggling, remember, there, but for the grace of God, go I. He's going to be a very kind person, Wayne Dyer is a very kind person. Was a very kind person, and he still has those impressions and grooves in his brain. And I have to encourage it. I made a note. I said, read to Giancarlo Arturo, that's his new name. Read to him Emerson, Robert Frost, Einstein, Carlos Castaneda, and St. Francis of Assisi. Okay, he's supposed to be a neurosurgeon. So I find more than once that people who turn out to be doctors have been treated very kindly by an important person in their life. That's why because doctors have to be kind, generally speaking. I only had one doctor who was unkind. His name was Dr. Shaw, and he yelled at me and said, you're not pregnant, and if you don't take this medicine, I didn't want to take the medicine because it would hurt the babies. And he said, you'll die. And then he said, who told you you're pregnant? And I said, God told me I'm pregnant. And he said, well, you're not pregnant. I said, you don't know more than God. And he didn't like me very much. But, now, as far as wisdom is avoiding all thoughts that weaken you, Wayne Dyer went on to say, It's what you expect. It's what you think about that expands. Emerson said, "The ancestor to every action is a thought. Change your thoughts, and you change your world." And this is what the neuroscientists are saying today, and Wayne Dyer said this years ago. Change your expectation, and you change around what you see manifest and see showing up in your life. And then he said, when your life becomes a series of trying to get someplace else, you never arrive. So that goes back to being present in the moment. That's where you want to be. That's where reality is. That's where joy and happiness is. That's the level of God. And I'll tell you who's in this picture. This is Adam, the first human on earth. And he is now being as Michael Bublé. And he was Angel Michael in heaven. And God wanted love. So he made Angel Michelle from Angel Michael. And they are soulmates. And this was Govinda Singh Dhillon, Jesus Christ was Angel Gabriel. And God made him the architect of heaven on earth, the physicalized heaven. So all that you see that is happening is because of Jesus Christ being as Govinda Singh Dhillon, arranging all these things. He's the God on earth, is it? These are the children of God, the Son. All right, and this is a grandson of God, and this is a granddaughter of God. And somewhere I have a picture of the other granddaughter of God. This is her biological father, Isaiah. He was changed. Isaiah was the prophet who prophesied Christ 700 years before he was born. Okay, I don't see the picture of Melanie right now. I mean, it's here, but I have so many other pictures. I'd love to show you a picture. Melanie, show up. Where are you? Here she is. There she is. There's Melanie. This is the other granddaughter of God. And this is her standing with her son, Seth Ranzinger, who's a great-grandson of God. Okay, so there you go. I hope you enjoyed those. Oh, here's another great-granddaughter of the Son, God. She was Saint Kabir, and her name is Ostara Gloria. Did I tell you Seth Wynn Ranzinger was Mr. Rogers and was Alexander Graham Bell? These are my grandchildren now. This is my daughter, my son. Okay, let me go. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to check it out, the whole video. I'll probably make another video. It's called 4 Hours of Wayne Dyer Motivation at the Evan Carmichael YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.